Howdy folks, for Airsoft Station, I'm Callsign Nobody. Alright folks, so today we're talking sub guns, or the AEGs and gas blowbacks that in real life fire pistol caliber rounds. So whether you want to run these as a secondary or primary, the pros and cons of each, and I'm going to talk about a little bit of the ergonomics here in front of me. So without further ado, my first friend doesn't need much of an introduction. This is an Uzi. The particular one that I'm holding is a gas blowback. Now, when considering whether to run this as a secondary, you might want to keep in mind that gas blowback Uzis are usually all metal, like the one that I'm holding. Magazines can be quite heavy, and the gun is a little bit cumbersome when it comes to slinging or tucking it in somewhere. So, things to consider. An Uzi is an incredibly fun gun to shoot. Although it's very small, the stock is retractable. Magazines fit in a plethora of pouches, hard and soft. There are multiple versions of this gun in gas blowback and also in AEG. The AEG versions are a lot lighter. Having this extendable stock means that you can run it as a carbine even though you're mitigated by the short barrel. On these gas blowback versions, the bolt does cycle, meaning you will have some felt recoil when you're shooting the gun. Magazine capacity can also be an issue as the mags don't hold very many rounds on the gas blowback versions. Taking a GBB as a primary for outdoor play might be very challenging with that barrel size and felt recoil in full auto. But as a CQB gun or as a backup, this Uzi would do really well and be a lot of fun to shoot. Now, if you're interested in a pistol caliber carbine that you might be more used to handling, check this out. This is the Noveski Space Invader licensed by EMG. It is a pistol caliber carbine based on an M4 or AR platform, so the grip, the magazine placement, the stock, really the gearbox are all going to be very familiar to you. This still uses a version 2 gearbox as an AEG, meaning that you can upgrade the holy Hannah out of this thing and use it as a primary. That being said, magazine changes can be slightly more difficult on PCCs, and it may require some retraining for you in general, but these things are going to behave much like your AR are. You're going to use a different mag, but the placement of the hardware, the charging handle, accessing the hop-up, the fire selector, all of these things are going to be familiar. So, if you're making a choice and saying, okay, I want a backup gun, I want it to run different mags, but I want to be able to use this just like my M4, this might be a really good choice for you. That being said, these things also HPA tap very well, and the same thing goes for the Uzi AEG. If you want to have a highly upgraded gun that is short, lightweight, and runs PCC magazines, most of these platforms are going to work for you as long as you're a DIY guy. So, let's move on to a classic. MP5s. MP5 is one of the most recognizable guns in the world. There is a reason for that between video games, proliferation of its use in the military, and it's been around for a really long time. There are a slew of models available as far as gas blowback and AEG when it comes to MP5. These are great base guns if you're looking for something small. There are magazines available from many OEMs for all the guns. They do function like a real one. You access the hop-up by pulling back the charging handle and get them into battery on the gas blowback the same way. Also, everybody wants to slap it. Don't slap it. MP5s are notoriously challenging to upgrade in AEG form. That is because of the gearbox size and shape. So, if you want to run an MP5, you can absolutely do it as a primary, but it will require more upgrades. Also, if you don't like these, you dude only fucking likes you piece of shit motherfucker. MP5s are licensed by Elite Force and have absolutely beautiful markings on them. They are very well made, being made of reinforced nylon fiber and metal like a real one. And again, you can upgrade these to the point where you can run them as a primary, but there are guns in the PCC format that come ready to rip, like this. This is a Crytek licensed Chris Vector AEG. This is a compact, functional gun. It does come in gas blowback and AEG form. We're waiting on the gas blowback. Plenty of real estate for attachments like this Aztec Thor tracer unit. And keep in mind that Crytek has now really developed a reputation for making badass guns. This is no exception. the Vector can be run as a primary or secondary out of the box. Keep in mind when making decisions about PCCs that magazine capacity and reloads may be a mitigating factor. Hopefully this video has helped you understand some of the pros and cons when it comes to running a PCC at Airsoft. They can be fantastic backup guns, especially for a long game like a milsim event. Running them as a primary can be challenging, but with a little bit of DIY and upgrades, it can absolutely be done. If you want one of these, get it from us. All right, putting this down, getting tacos.